Elon Musk draws inspiration from his favorite movies for everything he does. Is it the Starship from Star Trek or the latest Bond suit straight from the movies? The man was dressed in SpaceX SpaceSuits, which not only look cool, but also makes NASA's spacesuit design and technology look bad. But hold on, there's more. Watch the video to find out. Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting video from Space Chase. In today's video, we explain how the unique new design for SpaceX's spacesuit will save NASA billions of dollars. But before we get into the specifics, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post a video. So, let's get this party started. A spacesuit is a suit that's designed to keep a person alive in harsh conditions such as outer space, vacuum, and extreme temperatures. Spacesuits are commonly worn inside spacecraft as a precautionary measure in the event of cabin pressure loss, and they're also required for extra vehicular activity or work performed outside the spacecraft. SpaceX's spacesuits incorporate a complex system of equipment and environmental systems to keep the wearer comfortable and reduce the effort required to bend the limbs. To overcome a soft pressure garment's natural tendency to stiffen against the vacuum, a self-contained oxygen supply and environmental control system are frequently used, allowing complete freedom of movement independent of the spacecraft. Space may be the final frontier, but it's dangerous and inaccessible to any brave human without a great spacesuit. SpaceX, a company that specializes in space exploration and transportation, successfully launched its first passengers into space aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. When they boarded the sleek capsule known as the Crew Dragon, many people couldn't help but notice the beautifully designed white and black spacesuit, the first time a space company owned by a private individual had accomplished such a feat. Nobody was surprised by the astronaut suits, which were noticeably different from the orange suits we're used to seeing, because the SpaceX spacesuits, as they're known, have been in design and development for years. The new SpaceX spacesuits have rekindled public interest in space exploration, which has long been a dream of co-designer and chief financier Elon Musk. But what is it about the SpaceX spacesuits that has piqued people's interest? What is the purpose of astronaut spacesuits? To gain a better understanding of this, consider the various types of spacesuits and their functions. Depending on the mission, astronauts wear one of three different types of spacesuits. The first is the EVA, which stands for intra-vehicular activity and is only worn when the astronauts are inside the capsule. The use of EVA spacesuits is required only during the launch and entry phases of a space mission. The next two options are the extra-vehicular activity spacesuit EVA, which is worn outside the capsule, and the intra-extravehicular activity spacesuit EVA, which can be worn both inside and outside the capsules. The big question right now is why spacesuits are so important. Without a doubt, the most obvious reason for the importance of spacesuits is safety. Outside space contains hazardous gases, radiation, and temperatures. Spacesuits are designed to mimic the ideal conditions for the human species to thrive. Astronauts would die from lack of oxygen seconds after exiting the space shuttle or the Earth's atmosphere if they didn't wear spacesuits, and the fluids in their bodies, including their blood, would boil or freeze due to insufficient air pressure. Boiling bodily fluids could cause death by causing the skin and other vital organs to expand. Spacesuits are also strong enough to keep astronauts safe in space from being hurt or killed by micrometeoroids and other flying debris. Extreme temperatures can also be found outside of the Earth's atmosphere. These temperatures, which can range from -156 to around 121 degrees Celsius, are lethal. The spacesuits are intended to keep astronauts safe in these extreme temperatures while on space missions. The modern SpaceX spacesuits are not the same as the older NASA spacesuits. Although spacesuits keep astronauts safe and alive, they're far from luxurious. Until last year, when SpaceX debuted its new light, sleek, and eye-catching spacesuits. These next-generation spacesuits are the result of an unlikely collaboration between Elon Musk, Hollywood costume designer Joe Fernandez, and NASA. These suits are not only visually appealing, but also significantly different from their previous NASA counterpart, the Advanced Crew Escape Suit or the ACES. Astronauts wore these popular orange-colored spacesuits as they traveled to and from space in the space shuttle. They were first used on NASA mission STS-64 in 1994 and were supposed to be retired by the turn of the century. But they were recommissioned and modified to their current state, known as the Modified Advanced Crew Escape Suit ACES. Let's take a look at the aesthetics and design of these spacesuits, as well as how they differ in terms of functionality from their older orange pumpkin sister. For starters, their sleek design makes them lighter and more comfortable than the old NASA spacesuit ACES. According to research, they are 40 pounds lighter and easier to get in and out of than the old ACES. Because of 3D printing technology, the helmets are also lighter, glossier, and silkier than their predecessors, dubbed bubble helmets because of their striking resemblance to a bubble. The SpaceX helmets have valve microphones for communications and retractable visor that can be locked in place. Second, they can make the development of new spacesuits easier and safer. One of the most important factors was ease of use, which had been lacking in previous suits. Modern spacesuits are designed to work automatically with little intervention from astronauts. When astronauts enter the capsule, all they have to do is plug their suits into a port known as the umbilical, and the suits will do the rest. The suit also protects the astronauts from depressurization inside the capsule. If the cabin in which the astronauts are housed becomes depressurized, the SpaceX suits automatically pressurize, ensuring that oxygen, food, and liquid reach and leave the astronaut. When he or she needs them, the spacesuit comes with touchscreen-sensitive gloves. This makes it easier for the astronauts to operate the controls. The suit make limited use of touchscreen technology because even the smallest mistake could be fatal, and they can be worn in one piece as opposed to the ACEs, which are worn piece by piece. Third, they're more powerful. From a training perspective, the revolutionary suits have a high enough fidelity that we can sit in the capsule, put on the suits, and go through a situation or a scenario where the suits are going to inflate, says Bob Behnken, one of the first astronauts to try out the new SpaceX spacesuits. Such an experience, according to Bob Behnken, will better prepare astronauts for the rigors of spaceflight. He maintained that level of fidelity in training hardware versus PowerPoints, and virtual presentations are extremely important to operators, so that's a big win. We appreciate the quality assurance measures implemented by the SpaceX team, which have risen to the occasion. SpaceX went to great lengths to ensure the safety of their astronaut suits. In zero gravity, the suits were put through their paces. This was accomplished at the Zero Gravity Research Facility. The next step was to look for signs of depressurization. Depressurization occurs when a unit such as a capsule or a spacesuit loses enough pressure to function properly. This was accomplished by depressurizing the capsule and allowing the spacesuit to self-pressurize. The tests were performed to ensure that the spacesuit pressurizing system was in working order. It was time to put it through its paces on a real flight after passing all of the tests. The first step SpaceX took to ensure their suits were safe for space travel was to test them on a dummy. The dummy was dressed elegantly and launched into space aboard the company's Falcon Heavy rocket. When the Crew Dragon, a reusable spacecraft, completed its first unmanned spaceflight, SpaceX sent on board another spacesuit-wearing dummy known as Ripley. The next step was to make sure everyone on the crew was comfortable and safe. SpaceX used astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken to test the sleek spacesuits during the Demo 2 flight. The astronauts donned their SpaceX spacesuits to ensure their comfort and safety. The test was carried out during the Demo 2 test flight to the International Space Station in May of last year. During a press conference from the space station, Doug Hurley admitted that they have worn and removed the spacesuits numerous times and that it's now easier to get in and out of them. It's also worth noting that the SpaceX spacesuits are only meant to be worn inside the capsule during launch and entry. For long walks outside the capsule, astronauts must use the extra mobility unit. What are your thoughts on SpaceX's new spacesuit? Let's know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that brings us to the end of the video. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting updates and content. Until the next time.